Hey, this is Amanda with Deep South Delicacies, and I'm here with my good friend Jeff Jones today. We're going to make some fried pies for you. Peach is my favorite, so that's what we're going to make. We start out with dried peaches. They look like this, kind of a little funny looking, but you get those in packs of 6 to 8 ounces. We cook those down with water, so you're going to get a boiler. You're going to cover these with water and do about a cup of sugar for 6 to 8 ounces. Now, when you get done with that and you get through processing the peaches, they're almost a puree. Doesn't that look good?
It does look good.
It's good. So that's our peaches. We've got those cooled and set aside. Now we're going to make our crust.
Oh.
Okay, this is where it's all at. So I'm going to give you some gloves, Jeff.
All right.
Huh?
I'm usually not on this end of it, so it's going to be kind of special.
It's going to be fun.
I think it actually makes it taste a little bit better when you've had a hand in it.
I think it does. It absolutely does. We were at the Sweet Potato Festival yesterday, and there were so many people coming by our booth just because they like to see us make the pie.
Oh, y'all actually made them
We
there?
made them there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they were like, what does that pie look like? This is what it looks like. This is how we do it. So it was pretty cool.
And the anticipation. That was going to be mine.
That's right. And yeah, some of them actually stayed to the corner there and said, I want to wait till the fresh one comes out.
Well, I tell you what, fried pies, I mean, it always reminds me of my grandmother when I was a little boy. You know, it's like we rarely had fried pies unless grandma made them.
Yes.
And it's like we'd go in there, you know, we'd smell it, and then, you know, we'd see that black iron skillet on the stove, and you can hear it pop, you know. And then before you know it, you got these wonderful fried pies that are like that huge, man. It's just like, ugh.
They're the best.
I can't wait.
They're the best. That's what my cooking's all about. If it reminds you of grandma or mama, I'm all about it.
Oh, yeah.
2 cups of self-rising flour. We have a half a cup of a solid shortening, which is really important so you can get that flaky crust.
Okay.
Now, if there is anybody that's opposed to the solid shortening, feel free to use the vegetable oil. It's going to work also, or canola oil.
You got some choices.
You do.
Okay.
You do. It's hard to make fried pies healthy. I mean, that's just probably not going to happen.
No.
This is an every once in a while thing.
Right.
This isn't an everyday thing. So.
This is a true Deep South delicacy.
It is.
Not health food.
No,
it's a delicacy.
No, that's exactly
It's a
right.
treat.
And we all know we don't need to do that.
But it is fruit.
It is fruit.
So,
It
you know,
is.
technically it is fruit. So
And milk.
that's right, fruit and milk.
Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is get your hands in there and just really incorporate that shortening with
Get it all bonded together.
Yes. And it's going to be little bitty pea size all throughout the dough.
Okay.
Or the flour, I should have said.
Oh, it's
Isn't
extremely
that fun?
soft. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it really is. Getting a good quality flour is key. If you get some of the cheaper flours, they're going to work, but they're not going to be nearly as flaky.
Now, are some people might be tempted to maybe use a blender or something, or do you recommend doing it by hand?
You know, I recommend doing it by hand. My type of cooking is not fancy at all, so the more I can use my hands, I do. To me, that just puts more love into it. But if you wanted a pastry blender and just cut it in, you can do that.
Okay. I guess it might depend on how big a batch.
That's
maybe.
true. That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see what you think about
All
that.
right. Feels pretty good.
Good deal.
Feels pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to move to the buttermilk.
All right.
You can also use just whole milk if you want to, but I like buttermilk. It gives it a better taste as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to pour that in, and I'm going to let you start stirring.
All right.
Sadly, I can't tell you exactly how much milk that you need. It seems to be different every time. But what you want is you want a basic biscuit dough consistency, but a little bit thicker.
Okay.
Just a little bit thicker. And you can really, really just beat that. You're not gonna
break it.
Not gonna break it. Not gonna break it. Not gonna make it tough. You're doing good. You sure you haven't done this before?
No. I made a lot of them. I don't know if that counts.
Absolutely.
It's starting to thicken up a little bit.
So do you feel a little bit of resistance in it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So that's good. We want that. So we want it.
Okay.
Yeah. So kind of show them what that looks like. So So see, it's kind of putty-like. It's not a real wet dough.
Just a little sticky,
Just
but
a
it pulls
little
apart.
sticky. Exactly. So
Okay.
when we go to flour our Lord
Uh-huh.
and roll it out, that's going to make it easier to do.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. You can just take those gloves off and I'll take them from you. And we're going to roll out some dough. That's the fun part. All right.
All right.
Awesome. So we're going to take our flour.
Okay.
Have our cutting board there.
Is that a 1 cup?
This is a 1 cup.
Okay.
And we're just going to generously flour that because we don't want it sticking.
Now, how many is this batch going to make?
This is going to make about 6 to 7.
Okay.
6 to 7. When you delve out your dough here,
Okay.
about this size is what you want to start with. And you'll have a little excess, but you want to have enough to where you can roll it really thin, but not so thin that it's paper.
That's a little bit smaller than maybe a baseball. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's exactly right. All right, so I'm going to put just a little bit on top here.
Okay. So it don't stick to it.
So it don't stick
when
to
you get started.
it.
Okay.
And then I am going to start working the dough, not too much, but what I'm going for, got that on here and I'm just folding it over and over just to make sure that it's not going to be sticky when we
Okay.
roll it out. Okay. And then I have my rolling pin that I've had since I got married 32 years ago. And we're just going to start rolling. Okay, so I roll, then I turn it, I roll, turn it, okay? And then what we're looking for, and I'm going to let you feel of this because really this is all about feel.
Okay.
If you get your dough too thick, you might end up with a doughy pie and you don't want that. You want it cooked through and through, but you want it really, really flaky. So if you will feel this, see how thin?
Oh, yeah.
So we want something about like that.
Kind of like a thin cardboard.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to take a little bit.
And it doesn't have to be perfectly round, right?
It does not, because
Okay.
we're going to take care of that on the back.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of our fruit and we're going to put it right in the center. And we're going to just
About a tablespoon.
about a tablespoon, a heaping tablespoon. You don't want to be stingy with your
Okay.
fruit. People don't like that.
No.
So I have a pastry brush and a little water. We're going to dab that right around the edge, and that just helps it seal so it doesn't break open while you're frying.
Okay.
We're
Kind
gonna-
of like the bond that holds it together.
Yes,
Okay.
that's exactly right, like a glue. And we're going to fold that down, and we're going to just press out our fruit just like that. Okay, and then I have my pizza cutter. I'm sure they have something fancier out there, but this is what I use. And then I'm just doing a half moon, just like a traditional fried pie.
Oh, cool.
Isn't that cool? Press down with your fingers. That's your initial seal. And it's not a real fried pie unless it has crimped edges, right? So we're going to crimp the edges. I'm flouring.
So it doesn't stick to them?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
That's right. Flouring my fork. So we just take our fork and go all the way around. That just gives it a little extra seal, but it makes it pretty too. And we're going to make some little air holes here so it doesn't blow up and burst.
So it would actually puff up if
It
you did
would.
give it a little airflow.
It
Okay.
certainly would. And now in a cast iron skillet that's about 385 to 390 degrees.
Okay.
We're gonna. So now we're at my stove with my cast iron skillet. We have our oil at 385, 390 degrees. That's perfect. But if you don't have a thermometer, you don't need one. Get a little piece of dough, drop it in,
Oh,
and
yeah,
if it
that's bubbling.
sizzles, that's right. That's right. One important thing with fried pies, if you don't cook them fast enough, they're greasy. If you cook them too fast, they're doughy. So it's
Not just set it and forget it.
it's not just set it and forget
Right.
it. It's certainly not. I have a sheet pan set up here
Okay.
with the baking rack because we don't want excess grease. We want to make sure that we drain it before we eat them or send that out. So this is our fried pie before I am, the way I like to do them, I put them on my slotted spoon so I can ease them down in there.
Yeah, you don't want to be just dropping it in real quick.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't
You
think that turned
don't.
out too well.
No, I'm afraid you would have little
Yeah.
all over.
Now, do you time this, or do you just kind of watch it and
I just watch it, but it
Okay.
takes about a minute on each side,
Okay.
maybe a little bit less. But I watch it, and when it gets golden brown on one
Right.
side, you flip it on the other, it gets golden brown, you're done.
Okay. You kind of watch the edges and see when it starts getting brown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And see, it's already getting kind
Yeah, I
of,
see a little bit of gold.
Little bit of
on the
gold,
bottom.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's quick.
yeah, it doesn't take
Yeah.
long at all.
Seems like the actual cooking part is quicker than the
It
preparation.
is. It's a lot easier for
Yeah.
sure. Fried pies are wonderful and they taste so good, but they are messy
Yeah.
and they're a little bit expensive to make as well. And some people may not realize that,
Right.
but they are a little bit pricey to make. If you've ever priced dried fruit,
Right.
you'll be a little surprised.
Imagine if you're going to do it. Well,
Whoop.
imagine if you're going to do it, you might as well make a bunch.
You should, yes.
Because they're not going to go to waste.
That's right. That's right. Preferably, I do a fried pie day, so
Right.
people can order whatever amount that they want. But if I'm not doing a fried pie day and somebody wants to order pies, which
Right.
they can anytime, I have a minimum of 6, and that's why.
Okay. Well, tell us about your fried pie day.
Fried-
What all do you like? Different flavors? How many? How do
Yes.
they? How can they?
Right. So if you
Get
can,
some.
you can look me up on Facebook, Deep South Delicacies. I'll announce it.
Okay.
So I'll put on there ahead of time, hey, so and so day is fried pie day. Put in the order. You can do a private message or you can call me. I'd rather you not comment under the link because I'm so afraid I'm going to miss somebody,
Right.
and I never want to do that. So the private message or calling me or even texting me
Okay.
works better. But a fried pie day, you don't have to do a minimum order. If you want 2 fried pies, you can have 2 fried pies.
If they just kind of in the mood for one of these, 2 of them.
Yeah.
Now,
See if they like them, you know.
what days of the week are? Ooh, that looks wonderful.
Isn't that good?
What days of the week are your deep fried pie days?
Generally, I try to do those on a Thursday or a Friday.
Okay, so people need, if they're interested, they need to be watching your Facebook page
Yeah.
on Thursdays and Fridays
That's
for
right.
announcements.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And I usually announce it about a week ahead because I want everybody to have plenty of time
Okay.
to get their orders in.
Okay.
All right, let's let you do one.
Ooh, okay.
All right, let me
All right.
give this to you.
Now let's see here.
Put that on there
Okay.
and lay it in.
Give them a nice little bath.
Yes.
There we go.
There we go.
All right.
Good job.
Yeah.
You're going to be making these at home.
I know it.
Are you going to be competing with me?
I doubt.
See what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a little wooden spoon so when we flip it.
All right. It's so tempting to just
It
keep
is.
checking.
It is, but there's no need because you're gonna be standing here watching it, and when you see that golden brown, you're gonna flip it,
Mm.
and then we're gonna have some coffee.
Oh, I tell you what, that's looking better and better.
I know it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Especially on a chilly day.
Yeah. I mean, it seems just flaky just looking at it.
And absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely, they always are. All right, let's
I
let
see
you.
it's got like a little golden halo.
Yes, so we're
Okay.
gonna
Does
let
it matter if you use the spoon or this? Or?
you. What I'm gonna do is let you put that up under there.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna support it so when
Okay.
it flips,
Just kinda-
there you go. Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Big thing is
Like a pro.
don't let it splash
No.
because it would scar you for life,
Yeah,
at least
it
for a
would.
little while.
It would, and
Alright.
you know you have quite a cleanup.
Yeah. Exactly.
Afterwards. So no, this is very hot. You want to be very careful and
And
not
about how much oil do you need to cook them in?
You want to make sure that it's enough oil that your pies don't sit on the bottom.
Okay.
So this is a deep skillet, so I probably have about 4 to 5 cups in there.
Okay.
But you can gauge it depending on how big your skillet is. I have a skillet that's half this size. So as long as you have about 3/4 full, you're good.
Now, if you didn't have a novice here like me, I see you have more room in there, but how many do you do at a time?
2.
2 at a time? Okay.
I do 2 at a time. If you start doing more than 2 at a time, you're going to decrease your temperature and it's not going to cook as fast, and then you're
Okay.
going to have a greasy pie.
Okay.
Nobody wants a greasy pie.
Right.
I think that's ready to take out.
Good
So
deal. Okay.
there you go.
You get rid of some of that excess grease.
That's right. That's it. How easy was that?
All right, that's pretty easy.
It is. All right, now we get to try it out. Let's see how good you did.
Now this is where I really shine when it comes to eating. All right.
All right.
Oh, that looks good and flaky.
Yeah. Pretty.
Oh man.
All right.
Oh, so good.
Here we go.
Oh man.
You did a good job.
I did, didn't I?
You did. You did. You have to make your wife and daughter some of these.
Hey, I tell you what. You don't even have to chew this.
No.
It'll just melt in your mouth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very flaky and light. That fruit is perfect. A little bit of tart, a little bit of sweet. Exactly what you want from a fried pie.
I just got down to some of the fruit. Oh my God.
Good stuff, huh?
That is awesome. Now, I had mentioned earlier that, I take sugar and creamer in my coffee, but I don't want any other sweetness competing with this. So I'm going to go all black.
I think that's smart. I think I'm going to do the same.
Oh man.
All right. Until next time.
See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.